In mutual fund, the legal structure of mutual fund is very important concepts. Unlike other financial institutions, the structure of mutual fund is a little different. It is a three-tier: sponsor, trustee, and AMC. So you can imagine, I have not used the word mutual fund anywhere in these three tiers: no sponsor, trustee, and AMC. Whenever you interact with the local offices of mutual fund, that basically is asset management company. No. So for example, if I say here, suppose two companies who are into the financial services or in the business of finance, they can approach SEBI with if they fulfill certain requirement. What are the requirement? One requirement is that if you are into finance or financial services business. Number two, you are into profit for last 5 years. Number three, if you have a last 3 year track record of giving dividend. Number four, you can invest at least 50 crore rupees in the asset management company. No, as a seed capital. So anybody who can fulfill these four requirements can approach SEBI, and if based upon the other direction and other requirement of SEBI, if you fulfill those, you will become a sponsor. A sponsor is defined as a promoter who holds a minimum 40% stake in the sponsor company. No, remember that. That means normal situation, a company, a sponsor will have a maximum two sponsor only, 40% each. No, you can have a 40, 40, 43, three sponsors. So two sponsor in a company is the ideal situation. There could be also one sponsor based company. That's okay, fine. But there are two sponsor maximum you can have for any company, because 40% is what is required for a promoter to become a sponsor in a sponsor company. Now, a sponsor will appoint trustees. Now, trustees are basically created through a two act. One act is the 1882 Trust Act, and another one is 1956 Company Act. Both have the same purpose. If you are using 1882 Trust Act, then you will create trustees, board of trustees. No, and if you are using 1956 Company Act, then you will create board of trust company. You will create trust company, and board of trustee directors will be created over there. Fine. So trustees are basically, they represent the sponsor in the market to look after the legal and ethical practices of the AMC, of the mutual fund. No, it's a very important area. Now, how many trustees could be there? The rule says there could be minimum 4 trustees, and there could be maximum trustees as well, depending upon the requirement. But minimum trustee requirement has been explained by SEBI to have a minimum 4 number of trustees. Now, interesting thing is that out of these trustees which is there in the trustee board, two-thirds of them will be independent of a sponsor. That means they will be beyond, they will be from the market, they will be out of a sponsor's control, you can say. So trustees are made very independent body. Why? Because they have to look after two things. One, they have to look after the interest of the investor, and number two, they have to look after the legal and ethical aspect of all the functions that happen in the mutual fund industry. No. Now, trustee will be appointing an asset management company, and that company is basically nothing but a constituted under the Company Act of 1956, and a company will be representing the all interest and the operations and services of the mutual fund in the market. So AMC is one where they will be launching so many schemes. You can see investors are putting money into the scheme of AMC. Remember, people make this mistake. Investors put money into the scheme of AMC, not into the AMC. Okay? So different schemes, so different performance, so different NAV movement, so different portfolio, so different risk appetite, because investors are different and they choose different schemes, and all schemes are independent of each other. They only follow their own offer document. Fine. Now, AMC will have a lot of agencies around that. With the help of them, they actually work into the market. One is registrar and transfer agents. They are basically one who takes care of all the post sales operations and services activities to the industry, like redemption, like dividend payment, like nomination changes, like bank account changes, like any other changes that you can think of. All operation services are conducted by the registrar and transfer agents. Then you have bankers. Bankers are required. Every AMC will have a bankers tie up, because they have to collect checks, they have to make payment. So they route their investments, they route their payments and the collection of checks via their authorized bankers. Distributors, they are basically called mutual fund distributors. Who are they? They are the sales force of AMC, sales force of asset management company. They represent the AMC. They get paid by AMC. They get paid by the schemes from the schemes of the AMC. So they are basically one who is performing, who is distributing the schemes to the investors. They have to pass examination called NISM 5A, and after that they have to get registered with the AMFI, something called KYD, Know Your Distributors, and in return they will get ARN, MFI registration number. So anybody who passes this examination and can fulfill the requirement of KYD will get this MFI number, and after that a distributor can work for any mutual fund. No, there is no restrictions on distributor that he will work only for X or Y. He will work for any asset management company where he feels that his product is good enough to be distributed in the market. Then you have a stock exchange. Why it is needed? Because remember in last program I said that closed-ended schemes are to be compulsorily listed at the stock exchange. So all closed-ended schemes are listed at the stock exchange. Sometimes even in open-ended schemes, a investor can buy units in the demat form. Demat form. So if you are having units in the demat form, naturally you are going with the depository and also our AMC also have a tie-up with the stock exchange. And then of course you have a AMC auditors. AMC auditors are one who is auditing the AMC book. AMC is a company. So any company will have a auditors, and therefore that auditor will be auditing that AMC company. Now you can see just above that AMC auditor, you have a scheme auditor. So what does he do? And then you have a custodian. What does he do? They are appointed by trustees. Scheme auditors are those who will be auditing the operations and the other aspect, fund management and the other aspects of the schemes, unlike AMC auditor who will do the audit of AMC company. So these two are two different things. Schemes are different, AMC is different. Scheme operations are conducted, are audited by the scheme auditors, and they are appointed by the trustee. This way, trustee controls. No, and then you will say there are a lot of employees. So what employee does in the asset management company? So three functions are attributed to them primarily. One is accounting, one is valuation, one is investment. So accounting, valuation, and investments are the three functions are primarily given to the employee of AMC. Besides, of course, they do other things like they have a HR, they have HR, they have a sales activities, they have some other marketing, and all those things are there. But they are the secondary. But primarily, they are expected to do accounting, valuation, and the investments. Now, whenever they do these investments, they create portfolio. They make investment in the different securities. Understand? Every portfolio will have different securities. No. So these different securities, who holds these securities? These securities are with the custodians, which is appointed by the trustees. Remember, so custodians are the one who are appointed by the trustee. They hold all the securities. That means securities are not with the asset management company. They do all the accounting part. They do all the valuation part. They do all the investment part, but they do not hold the assets. Assets remain with the trustee in the capacity of custodian. No, so this legal structure is very unique and very, very important, and this is not something that is common with the other financial institution like bank or the insurance. Fine. So you keep a touch on this and attend to the question and answers. You will find a lot of interesting questions there, and they are quite important over here. This chapter is very, very important from the examination point of view also. Okay, good. Thank you.